YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. Thank you guys so very much for being here. I appreciate it. Let me lose these headphones because I don't need a monitor. All right, so news, DC, Warner Brothers, Bad Robot, J.J. Abrams. A lot of pieces in this puzzle with some breaking news from Deadline. It looks like Justice League Dark is in production, with Bad Robot being the one to helm the development for all of the TV shows and films in the future. So this is huge news for DC, huge news for Warner Brothers, but it's a little bit on both sides. So I have an opinion that is probably bold, or I don't know. Sit back and relax because there's going to be some Jody Damas up in this motherfucker still. Let's talk about the positives just off bat. Here's how this is good news for me, and it's good news for you as well. Most of you just don't know it yet, but let me explain. Patty Jenkins is going to direct the next Superman movie. I'm willing that shit into existence. Patty Jenkins should be the one to do the Superman film, Henry Cavill based or not, but it'll be nice to have Henry Cavill back. And it's going to be glorious. Every single last time a director's name would pop up, Matthew Vaughn, Chris this guy, Mark that guy, J.J. Abrams was the latest rumor. They all kept falling by the wayside. By the wayside. Shout out to my motherfucking favorite movie of last year, A Star is Born. Justice League Dark is going to be preoccupying J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot. Bad Robot will not be touching Justice League characters such as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, The Flash. And that's the good news of it. You know, that Patty Jenkins is the one that's going to be the visionary, I believe, to direct The Last Son of Krypton, the next Superman film. She's going to take a break, in my opinion, from Wonder Woman 3. She'll get someone else will direct that, or she'll be a EP, or she'll have some ties to it, or a liaison or advisor, or she'll do it all herself, but she's going to take a break between Wonder Woman 2 and 3 because that's what she said. And I believe it's to helm Superman. Look for the news in the near future. I'm putting a lot of steam behind this because I really believe this is going to be my ultimate Jody Damas prediction on Jody's Corner. Jody'sCorner.com, baby. Thank you guys so very much. So that's the positive, and that's really as far as I could stretch it. Here's how it could be a negative thing. For me, personally speaking, I don't like J.J. Abrams. I don't dislike J.J. Abrams. I just know that J.J. Abrams is a little bit overrated, in my opinion. In the last few years, what has J.J. Abrams done that was really, truly successful and mega hit smash, omega producer level quality? How is that Spider-Man comic book that he's doing with his son? I'm hearing nothing about that. I've heard a couple of whispers that it was meh. So, and I never liked his films really. Like him as a producer, I respect him. And he is a good producer. He's the guy that could make things happen behind the scenes. That's the type of guy that he is. So I appreciate and I respect that. J.J. Abrams can do that. Bad Robot is very capable. That's why Bad Robot is even in this position, because I believe it was last year this time, or it was maybe a year and a half ago, Bad Robot, which is J.J. Abrams' production company that him and his wife built, they inked a deal with Warner Brothers for an estimated, rumored, speculated, but reported $500 million. That's like some Austin Powers demand pulls, some Goldfinger demand, or Dr. Evil demand shit. That's a lot of freaking money. I think that overall Warner Brothers took an L on that deal, because if they just waited 6-7 months for a year, or just hold off, wait for Star Wars Episode 9, they could have saw that JJ really was in over his head, and he couldn't help that movie from being the disaster that it is. You know, he was saying that he understands how people love it and how people hate it, how you can't please everybody, but at the same time, he's the one that did Episode 7. He didn't do good with Star Wars, period. A lot of people give Rian Johnson flack, but Rian Johnson was not the one that started the trash and the misdirection that is Star Wars. It started with Episode 7, and I have problems with that movie. I have a Jody's Corner rant on that film. While a lot of Star Wars fans was, yeah, I saw that he didn't understand the Force and he had characters misguided. So JJ, you hold the L of Star Wars, not Rian Johnson. The biggest L of Star Wars is clearly Kathleen Kennedy, but there's nothing that we can do about her, because last year, I believe she signed a 3-year extension to stay in her position. So we got 2 more years of the witch. We got 2 more years of her. Nothing we could do. We just got to let her fade off into the wilderness. Between now and the next film of Star Wars with Kevin Feige, that will be great. Kathleen will be gone. That's that. So I do blame Star Wars failure on J.J. Abrams, and I think Warner Brothers, I wish they paid a little bit more close attention. And I know that J.J. Abrams has done successful things for Warner Brothers in the past, and I know that J.J. Abrams is capable of making tremendous box office performing films. I just don't think that he has the steam that people think he has, and this is exactly why I think this is good news on the flip side for Justice League Dark. Let's go ahead and get into the article. We'll read it and then we'll discuss. So Justice League Dark, Bad Robot is developing film and TV projects based on Warner Brothers DC Comics. So there's the Bad Robot logo. You've probably seen that before. All right, let's get into it. This is an exclusive reported by Deadline. So exclusive is that I hear that Bad Robot, through its new deal at Warner Media, is exclusively developing both film and TV ideas based on DC's Justice League Dark universe at Warner Brothers. This deal is all very nascent, and at this point in time, there aren't any specific projects or characters that are being specifically developed out of the franchise. I understand that Bad Robot's head of motion pictures, Hannah Minghella, and head of television, Ben Stevenson, will soon be taking meetings with talent reps and their writing clients on which characters will get their own projects. So this is basically saying it's the beginning of the phase, and we have Hannah Minghella, which is the head of television, and Ben Stevenson, which will be heading film. So this is the rough draft. This is the very beginning. This is just the announcement. So nothing is actually in the works. So Justice League Dark first appeared in September of 2011 issue of Justice League Dark #1, featuring such superheroes mostly occult and offbeat as John Constantine, Mystic and Fortune Teller Madame Zandu, Deadman, Shade, the Changing Man, and Zatanna. The roster is much larger, and members join later on, with Swamp Thing being added in issue 19. Other members of the Justice League Dark include Andrew Bennett, who is a centuries-old vampire, Black Orchid, who is a shapeshifter, Dr. Mist, a spy who worked for villain Phoenix Faust, Frankenstein, Pandora, Nightmare Nurse, who is a healer of supernatural wounds, and among several others. Given their powers, they typically handle situations outside of the scope of the traditional Justice League, with Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and Flash and stuff. The Justice League Dark title and team were created by Peter Milligan with art by Mikel Janin. All right, so that's basically it. So Justice League Dark, Bad Robot. I think that if you look at the list of these characters, here's why I think Bad Robot can do well. JJ's a great producer. His company is highly valued. I'm sure of it. And what makes it even better is that none of these are A-list characters that have huge fan bases that really put that pressure on you, that really drive you crazy during production, and that will cause a tremendous amount of headline. Nobody's really checking for most of these characters. I think all of these characters are C-list and below. Let's look at the name of the characters. John Constantine. He's probably the most popular character in this list, with Swamp Thing and Zatanna. So John Constantine, he has fans, but not many. This is a C-list character. Who else we have here? Madame Zandu, Deadman, even though I like him. Shade and the Changing Man, C-list and below. Deadman, D-list. Zatanna, C-list. You could argue Zatanna's B-list. I think she's above everyone else, even Constantine, as far as popularity goes. Swamp Thing, C-list. Dr. Mist, Frankenstein. I mean, I think Frankenstein on its own is more popular than all of them combined because he's Frankenstein, right? I mean, none of these are those huge characters. It's not Batman. It's not Wonder Woman. It's not Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman. It's not them, which is a good thing here. It's good that this is more of a small scale affair. A lot of television shows are going to come from this. The huge thing in contrast between this and Justice League is that Justice League is the big league, and I would say that Justice League Dark is much more of a peewee league, minor league or something like that. And that's not a bad thing, because when there's not so much attention, so much news articles, so much publicity, so much YouTube channels reporting, oh, Justice League Dark this, Swamp Thing that, I heard this, drama on set, nobody's gonna care, so they could sit there and they could confine themselves and make the movie they want to make. And I think that with having that much production based around these C-list characters, I feel like Bad Robot is equipped and capable enough to create a roster of these heroes, or lack of whatever the freak they are, villains, evil people. I don't even know if these people are really do-gooders. I think that they can make them successful. These are not billion-dollar franchises. These are not award-winning. Look, I think that this has a lot to do with television and HBO Max that's coming out in March, I believe. Netflix is killing the game. No one can compete with them right now. Even though we want to believe Hulu and we want to believe and hope Disney Plus can, they can't. I've been on Disney Plus. I'm tired of Disney Plus. The only thing that makes me go back to Disney Plus is The Simpsons. I finished Mandalorian. It's over. Nothing else for me. I seen the Jeff Goldblum show. Oh, it was good. I'm out of there. And that's why they released it for free. It has a small library. I've seen, and they don't even have all the Disney movies on there. I mean, what are you doing? Open that vault completely up. Disney's tripping. $6.99 price tag is too much for what they're delivering with. That's just how I believe it. They can't compete with Netflix. Netflix has too much original content, too much amazing films, and they're cleaning up on the awards. Amazon are good, but they're back because they're a billion-dollar company. And a lot of people have Amazon because they get it free because they have Amazon Prime shipping. The Boys show is great. They have the other shows that are winning awards and are acclaimed over there. But on the original movie and just film TV front and the film front, they're just not lacking it, and they cannot compare with Netflix as well. You got Apple, which doesn't matter. I think HBO Max is the only titan that could come and punch Netflix in the jaw and really make a fight. And I think that this has a lot to do with it, because what is HBO Max? It's Warner Brothers. It's Warner Brothers property. It's going to have Warner Brothers stuff. Cartoon Network is on there. Anime's on there. It's going to have an extensive library. And I think that a lot of Justice League Dark television shows will be making their way to HBO Max. You could believe that, Jack. And I think that's a lot to do with what Bad Robot is doing. They're going to do a lot for TV, for streaming stuff. But they're also going to do stuff for film as well. And the safety net, again, is that these characters do not demand much. These characters do not have the huge fan bases, and it could be more of a relaxing environment for them to make the best possible Swamp Thing or Zatanna movie that they possibly can make. And I think that it's enough. I think it's enough to make this a success. At the end of the day, this can be a very successful thing. It's more likely successful than not, in my opinion, because had J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot tried to target Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and stuff like that, and fondle a lot into the DC film universe, the successful version, I'd be a little bit more worrisome. But you know, Marvel did a really good job. Hat off to Marvel, because what do? They bring out D-list characters, C and D-list characters, and bring them to notoriety. I mean, Ant-Man came out of nowhere, and look, it's popular now. Guardians of the Galaxy? Who the heck are they? Captain Marvel? Please. But look, their performers in the box office. Fans love them. Captain Marvel, not a freak Captain Marvel. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, her movie made $1.1 billion. There's something there. So if Marvel gave it that opportunity to make those small characters big. And why not? Why not? Bring that Swamp Thing. Bring that Vampire Bat. Bring it. Bring Zatanna. Dead Man? All right, bring it. There's a lot of people. And with that dark element too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are into that demonic shit. Me, personally, I'm not. But I'm sure some of those movies will be safe for me to watch, but some of them won't be. And that scratches the itch for a lot of horror fans out there. Horror fans, reunite and rejoice, because this is good news for you. You guys are going to get a lot of dark stuff that's going to be awesome for you. So at the end of the day, I think that this is a good thing for Warner Brothers and DC overall. And it's going to be a good thing for Disney, for HBO Max streaming, which will hopefully make Disney Plus streaming come out with some more content, because who really wants to sit around and watch cheesy shit all day on the big screen? It's all about the heroes. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody, jodyscorner.com, baby. Put down in the comment box what you guys think. And I'm out this thing, man. Deuces.